Have you ever felt like you are living a life scripted by someone else? A feeling that your path was chosen before you arrived? This strange sensation is the hallmark of what sociologists call the collective consciousness. It is an invisible, shared field of beliefs, ideas, and attitudes that acts as a powerful, unifying force within society. Imagine an unseen web connecting every mind, weaving together the fabric of what we collectively perceive as reality. This web dictates the boundaries of our daily lives, defining what we consider possible and what we label as impossible. Many people today refer to this phenomenon as the Matrix, a complex system of mass programming that shapes our world. From our earliest childhood, we are fed specific narratives about success, failure, and the definition of a normal life. We are told how to dress, how to work, and even how to measure our own personal worth. These deep-seated ideas are rarely our own original creations. They are inherited from our culture and our environment. Media, education, and societal expectations act as the primary architects of this shared mental landscape. We absorb these concepts through osmosis, often never stopping to question their validity or their origin. This collective programming creates invisible limitations, acting like a glass ceiling on our true human potential. It restricts our ability to think differently, nudging us back into the comfort of the status quo. Consider how quickly trends spread across the globe, turning millions of people into a single, synchronized movement. Think about how entire nations can suddenly adopt the same intense fear or excitement without a single logical reason. This is the collective consciousness in action, moving like a powerful tide that carries everyone along. Most people drift within this current without ever realizing they are being moved by an external force. When we accept these mass beliefs without question, we become a functional gear in the larger machine. By doing so, we unwittingly reinforce the very limits that prevent us from reaching our own goals. The Matrix is real in the sense that our reality is constructed by these shared, subconscious social agreements. It is a consensus reality maintained by the collective agreement of billions of individual minds. But here is the most important truth. You are not a permanent prisoner of this system. You only remain trapped if you choose to stay entirely unconscious of the programming around you. To break free, you must begin by practicing a radical form of awareness regarding your own thoughts. Start by asking yourself a simple yet profound question. Is this belief actually mine? Trace the origin of your opinions and see if they belong to you or to the collective. Notice the specific moments when you feel an internal pressure to conform to the crowd. Pay close attention to your immediate reactions when you consume news or scroll through social media. Observe how your mood shifts based on the opinions of your peers or the trending topics online. By pausing before you react, you create a vital gap between the programming and your own choice. This small pause is where your true power resides, allowing you to reclaim your autonomy. It transforms you from a passive participant into an active observer of your own life. Seek out diverse perspectives that actively challenge the status quo and your current worldview. Read books that push your boundaries and engage with ideas that exist outside your usual bubble. When you encounter a new perspective, do not reject it immediately because it feels unfamiliar. Instead, analyze it with curiosity to see if it resonates with your authentic inner voice. Limit your exposure to mass media platforms that thrive on generating fear and social division. These platforms are the primary tools used to keep the collective mind trapped in a loop They rely on your emotional engagement to keep you focused on the drama of the system. By stepping away from the noise, you starve the machine of the attention it needs to function. Spend more time in intentional silence, away from the constant hum of digital connectivity. When you disconnect from the world, you can finally hear the quiet voice of your own intuition. Intuition is your internal compass, pointing toward truths that the collective often ignores. Trust that your inner guidance is more reliable than the loudest voices in the public square. Remember that while the collective consciousness is a powerful force, it is not absolute. Your individual consciousness is the ultimate source of your truth and your personal reality. You have the inherent power to unplug from the limitations imposed by the crowd. Start by making one small, conscious decision that goes against the grain of the system. Write your own script, one intentional thought and one deliberate action at a time. The matrix may be vast and deeply ingrained, but your awareness is the ultimate key. It unlocks the door to a life defined by your own values rather than external expectations. You are the architect of your own experience, capable of building beyond the current limits. Every time you choose to think for yourself, you weaken the grip of the collective program. It is a journey of constant awakening, requiring patience and a commitment to your own growth. Do not be discouraged if you find yourself slipping back into old patterns of thinking. Simply recognize the pattern, breathe, and return to your center of conscious awareness. The goal is not to fight the system, but to transcend it by living from a place of truth. As you change your internal world, you contribute to a shift in the collective consciousness itself. Your individual awakening ripples outward, creating space for others to question their own reality. Step into your power, stay awake, and define your life on your own terms today.